What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video because Liverpool are actively working to sign Ekitike, the Frankfurt striker. Could be Liverpool's next big transfer, next big striker that wears the number 9 shirt. We are in the process of selling Darwin Núñez and also Liverpool, and we will have a lot of new transfer stories in this video because Liverpool rejected an offer from Bayern Munich for Diaz, and also both Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen confirmed the signing of Jero Kwanza by Leverkusen from Liverpool for £35 million in total. So Liverpool already started the player sales, and Fabrizio Romano has now confirmed that Liverpool is seriously working on the moving for Ekitike, and he has claimed that Liverpool are working on a transfer deal because maybe Liverpool feel that we need to put some groundwork into this transfer because signing Alexander Isak is not a certainty. Newcastle are very difficult to negotiate with, and Ekitike is 23 years old. He had a fantastic campaign last season, scoring 22 goals and got 12 assists in 48 appearances in all competitions as Frankfurt went deep in the Europa League, and they also qualified for the Champions League by finishing in 3rd place in the Bundesliga. So that's 34 goal contributions in 48 games. That's a very, very good number. And he has emerged as a target to replace Darwin Núñez. I think that would be a massive upgrade because Ekitike right now is much better than Darwin Núñez. But the Frankfurt will be tough negotiators. The Frankfurt sporting director, Markus Krösche, has made it clear that Ekitike will only leave on Frankfurt's terms. Because Frankfurt made the Champions League, they are under no financial pressure to sell, and if the price isn't right, then Ekitike will simply stay with us. That's what the sporting director said to a regional Frankfurt paper, and they publicly declared that Frankfurt don't have to sell Ekitike. Of course, it's not exactly what Liverpool have wanted to hear regarding a potential sale, but the strikers market is not easy. Julian Alvarez and Isak are very, very difficult players to get. Those would be, I think, the top 2 targets. We will also talk about Victor Osimhen in detail in another video because he is a potential option as well. But there is also an argument, if Liverpool can't get their number 1 or number 2 or maybe even number 3 transfer target at striker position, is it worth waiting 1 more year? I don't think the Liverpool fan base would be too keen on Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota being Liverpool's 2 main strikers next season for another year. But I think Liverpool will ultimately sell Darwin Núñez, maybe for a compromised transfer fee. This hardline stance by Frankfurt, coupled with them wanting close to 100 million euros, a club record figure, they insist will not be lowered. That means that Liverpool will find it tough to sign Ekitike. And yes, he is not as good as Osimhen or maybe even Isak or Alvarez, definitely not as good, but maybe even Osimhen is a better striker. But Ekitike has much better link-up play, much better passing than Osimhen. So Ekitike fits into the Liverpool tactical playing style and the Liverpool model, what Arne Slot is trying to build. He fits into that much better than Victor Osimhen. So you could make an argument that Ekitike would be better long-term for Liverpool, but also is not worth 100 million euros, definitely. But Fabrizio Romano claimed that Liverpool are working on a deal to sign Ekitike. Liverpool are working on this deal, and I'm quoting Fabrizio Romano here. They are discussing the possibility of adding Ekitike to their squad. The idea of Liverpool is to have 1 more striker. They are waiting to understand what happens with Darwin Núñez, with conversations ongoing with Napoli. Liverpool can add the new striker, so Ekitike remains a name on the transfer list for the club. Of course, this is not a deal happening today or tomorrow, so we need to be patient, but Ekitike is a name on the list for Liverpool, and Frankfurt also expect the interest into Ekitike to intensify after the Club World Cup in August. So Liverpool could start the season, or pre-season definitely we would start it with Jota and Florian Wirtz as Liverpool's 2 main strikers, and I don't think Darwin Núñez will be playing in pre-season. He is negotiating with Napoli, and Liverpool are also negotiating with Napoli. But Liverpool will also face competition from Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, who also want Hugo Ekitike. I mean, they are interested, maybe not all of them are desperate to sign him. But that's why I said that the striker market is not really booming, because Gyökeres, not a profile that Liverpool are looking for. Benjamin Sesko, just not good enough. His numbers are not good enough for Liverpool. Let him go to Arsenal and they can figure it out with him how he will cope in the Premier League. Ekitike would be a great project striker, and we could start Ekitike in one game, Florian Wirtz in the next game, maybe play Diogo Jota in the cup games, and that would be, I think, more than enough options for Liverpool going forward. And remember that Frankfurt finishing third and qualifying for the Champions League, that only happened twice in Frankfurt history. One previous time that they qualified for the Champions League via their league position. So I think this is a huge achievement. But of course we know that Liverpool need to sell some players like Darwin Núñez and Harvey Elliott before we can sign either Ekitike or Alexander Isak. And Ekitike, this pursuit for him could continue well into August, because this transfer will not be an easy and straightforward transfer to do. But it's clear that Arne Slot is looking for a striker who has pace, but who can also press and who can link up play. And that's why maybe Osimhen is not the best fit, and Gyökeres is definitely not the best fit for Liverpool. I think Alexander Isak or Julian Alvarez would be absolutely the perfect transfer for Liverpool. But of course there has been a possibility mentioned that Liverpool are exploring an exchange deal for Victor Osimhen, because Liverpool could offer Darwin Núñez, Chiesa plus 17 million for Osimhen. I'm not sure if that is overpriced, because Darwin Núñez is worth 40 million, Chiesa another 10 million, that's 50. Is it so 67 million pounds for Victor Osimhen in total is difficult, but I'm not sure if Liverpool could get 40 million for any club from Europe for Darwin Núñez. Of course, the ideal solution would be to sell Darwin Núñez to Saudi Arabia, but he doesn't want to go there right now. His career is still in the middle, so he wants to stay in Europe, because once you go to Saudi, it's very hard to come back to a top European club who plays Champions League football. But also the reason why Ekitike would be an absolutely brilliant choice is he actually ranked above Isak for shot creating actions, 3.5 compared to 3 shot creating actions by Isak. He also made more tackles and interceptions, so he's better at pressing the opposition. He had more touches in the midfield third than Isak, and he also recorded a lot more ball recoveries than Isak. And if I had to choose, would I trade Núñez, Chiesa and 17 million for Victor Osimhen, or pay like 75-80 million for Ekitike? I would choose the latter, because I think Darwin Núñez and Chiesa are worth a lot more than just 50 million combined, and also because Ekitike would be younger and also a better fit for Liverpool's playing style in terms of what Arne Slot is trying to build. I think Ekitike is after Isak and Alvarez, almost the perfect third choice striker option for Liverpool. And of course, it's not just about the numbers of Ekitike, and also his availability is great. He's hardly ever injured. Arne Slot and Richard Hughes are building a squad with an identity and a long-term vision. And Liverpool's style is likely to be redefined under Arne Slot, with an emphasis on intelligent movement, adaptability and link-up play. So even the striker needs to be very good in a link-up play, and in that light, Ekitike's technical flair, sharp bursts into open space, and also unorthodox attacking movements, different attacking patterns that Ekitike has, that offers a lot of promise, a lot of potential. And there is an obvious risk, of course, because he hasn't done it for many seasons in a top level league. He is not Premier League proven. But I mean, apart from Alexander Isak and Julian Alvarez, nobody is Premier League proven out there in the strikers market. So the potential ceiling remains very high. Even Osimhen would be a better shout when it comes to experience, because Osimhen is a Serie A title winner, he has Champions League experience, and he's a pure goal scorer. He always bags 20-25 goals anywhere he goes. So Liverpool absolutely will need to get this transfer right to sign the next striker, it's absolutely crucial that it's not a flop like Darwin Núñez. So the pressure will intensify on Liverpool to bring in a forward who can deliver immediately, because Liverpool cannot carry passengers, because we want to defend our title and we need to get at least 85 to 90 points next season in the Premier League. That's what should be Liverpool's target. But the Bild newspaper, which is a German news outlet, they report that Frankfurt have enough money and enough capital to sustain even a loss of 30 million euros in the upcoming season. So they are sticking to this 100 million euro price tag on Ekitike, and the player is so far not really pushing for a change. Frankfurt expects that interest in Ekitike will intensify after the Club World Cup is finished, and also August comes around, the Premier League season is about to begin, and then that's when clubs will ramp up their interest. So Bayern Munich apparently contacted Liverpool about the availability of Luis Diaz, and they wanted to explore what kind of transfers free Liverpool would be looking for, but Liverpool flat out rejected their approach, just like for Barcelona. They said that Luis Diaz is categorically not for sale, and they will not consider any offers for him. So the club executives see Luis Diaz's role as crucial to the future success of Liverpool, and they are prioritizing team performance in their position. That's what many news outlets and journalists are reporting. So sporting director of Bayern, Max Eberl, has been informed that Luis Diaz is not available for a transfer. So Liverpool flat out rejected this approach, which is an interesting take. Basically telling Luis Diaz, you are either going to Saudi for a ridiculous amount of money or you are staying put. Privately, I'm not sure this holds, this Liverpool line that Luis Diaz is not for sale. Yes, this Bayern approach was rejected, but that doesn't mean Liverpool wouldn't entertain offers elsewhere, especially from Saudi Arabia, where the checkbooks remain open and the offers can exceed the European offers by far. This isn't about being desperate to offload Diaz. He played a key role in Liverpool winning the title, and he remains a high-performing wide forward in his prime on a very low salary with 2 years left on his contract. But he also represents one of Liverpool's best chances to generate a significant transfer fee from a player who is not essential to the long-term future of Liverpool. In 5 years, Luis Diaz will not be at Liverpool. Probably in 3 years, he will not be at Liverpool. And his contract clock is ticking. But that's not deemed critical. His profile is marketable, and his performances are, sometimes inconsistent but still impressive. Liverpool's stance, I suspect, is this. If Luis Diaz won't go to Saudi, then he stays. If the offer hits the numbers that Liverpool want, then he goes. Because if Saudi offer like £70 million for Luis Diaz, just as a hypothetical, I think Liverpool would sell. That's the difference. Bayern or Barcelona can knock at the door politely, but unless they arrive with inflated prices, Liverpool will say no. Of course, if a Saudi crazy bid arrives, the Liverpool stance will change. This isn't a ruthless fire sale, it's just business logic. Liverpool have the valuation. We are saying, unless you bid 65 million pounds for Luis Diaz, he's not for sale. So if the right offer arrives from the right source, then Liverpool will drive Luis Diaz to the airport probably. And today Mamardashvili is flying to Liverpool with his agent, which is really, really awesome. And Liverpool also confirmed that Jero Kwanzaa joins Bayer Leverkusen on a 5-year contract for 30 plus 5 million pounds. And Liverpool also changes their coaching staff. They are bidding farewell to Liverpool's goalkeeping department, which is pretty surprising because Claudio Taffarel, a Brazil legend who won the World Cup with Brazil in 2002, and Fabian Otte, another great goalkeeping coach, are both leaving Liverpool. And Liverpool announced the changes to the coaching staff. Giovanni from Bonkhorst will be the Liverpool assistant manager, and Xavi Valero returns to Liverpool as the new head of first team goalkeeping coach. He spent the last 7 years with West Ham United and he moves back to Liverpool. So I'm not sure why Taffarel leaves. Maybe he wants to go back to his family in Brazil. But Fabiano leaving, another great goalkeeping coach, that's a little bit surprising. And we really don't know the exact reason or reasons why they are both leaving Liverpool. So that's a big conundrum. Liverpool are also still waiting offers from Napoli for Darwin Núñez. And they are also aware that some Bundesliga clubs are interested in Harvey Elliott, who could be sold for offers of £40 million with a buyback option. That's 50 million euros. I'm not sure many Bundesliga clubs will entertain that. Brighton are long-term admirers of Harvey Elliott. I think he would be an absolutely brilliant signing for Brighton, and he would actually help Brighton achieve a European place, European finish top 7, top 8 in the Premier League. So I hope that Liverpool act smartly in the transfer window with some really smart player sales, and then we can attack the strikers market in late July or early August. I will keep you guys updated on my channel. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.